Steady there, steady.
I know. So it's happening again, folks.
We're still naughty before we go live.
Yeah, I've got the mischiefs again. Yes, hello, folks. Yes. Hello, it's me again. Twice in 1 week on eModels, eh? Oh, look at that, eh? Workbench live with me, Festa, and I'm joined today by Foxx, my regular co-host.
Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome. Yeah. Prepare your trousers.
There you go, my regular co-host from eModels as well, the GNU. So yes, folks,
how do you do?
Welcome. We're a little bit late tonight, but we did get joined just before we went live by the legend that is the skipper of the Tedward, tested his new rig out. Ooh,
he was in here. He was in here. His face was on the screen that you can't see. It was here.
Yeah, and I did try to wheedle us out of it, Foxx, by saying to him a sense of normality and direction will return on the Monday for the eModels Monday. I said because we have kind of been a little bit boisterous while the headmaster's been on holiday.
Yeah, we're basically, when you see us on Monday, me, Chris and Cole, you won't see our hands or arms at all because we'll be sat on our hands for the whole show.
Yeah, we are going to be, yeah. But did you notice that 10 minutes that he was in, how well behaved we were?
Yeah, and that's the other thing, of course. He's just going to sit there and give us the look for like an hour, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. It's
going to be an hour of Ted giving us the look. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. So, folks, anyway, yes, Workbench Live with eModels.co.uk, your
one-stop shop for all your model making needs. I've just realised I got my cutting mat the wrong way around.
And your one-stop shop for all your goddamn needs, folks. Yes. Just get that little hook in there. Why not? Don't forget, folks, the usual rules apply. Belly, bench and beverage. What is in the belly? What is on your bench? What is your beverage of choice? If you can let us know in the chat that A&V is okay, that will put my mind at rest because I do stress. And talking of the chat, he says, lifting one's arm.
He's there.
To scroll up. Who have we got in the chat? Me and Foxx were in first, saying hello, everyone, and prepare your eye holes for all the looking. See what he did there.
We're already in trouble, by the way.
Oh, are we?
You'll get to Ted's comment.
Jacqueline says, good evening. Brew and Glue is in, saying hello.
Jackie.
Hello, David. How are you, mate? Hope you're doing well. He says, trying to get this damned iPad to do what I want it to do. It's only scrolling, Cole. There you go. Al says, hi, Cole and Foxx. How is the wind down your way? It's a little bit blowy by me, but I do live closer to Jackie than Foxx does.
Yeah, I'm a long way away, but I'm still getting a bit of it, so Jackie must be pretty potent tonight.
Exactly. Talking to Jackie, she says, very wet and blowy in the south coast.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, she's let one go in the garden and it's spitting with rain.
Cabbage. Yeah. Who gave a cabbage curry?
Absolutely. Graham McRobert is in, says, oi, danger incoming after them Vindaloo beans today, all right, yeah.
Oh.
Al says, blowy. Jackie, have you been on the beans again? See, everyone knows Jackie.
Everyone knows, yeah.
Ted's in, says, good evening. Good evening again, Ted.
Good evening, Ted. Hello, Ted.
Jeff Light is in, says, good evening, Cole, Foxx, and all in the chat. Hello, Jeff. Love to you and Maggie, mate. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Ted says there will be words. I'm making notes. Yeah,
we're in trouble.
Do you think we're going to get that HR meeting without coffee?
I think we're going to get the email, aren't we?
Yeah. Al says, so far okay, Graham, but midnight is when it's supposed to start. Yes, there is a big storm. Is it Baptist or something? Oh, I can't think of the name of it. Yeah, but there's a big storm due on the east coast of Scotland tonight. So if you are up that way, all joking aside and bantering out on a serious note, please look after yourselves up there and stay safe.
Yes, because there has been a danger to life warning.
Yeah, it's a red warning's been issued, which is very, very rare. So anyone on the coast or in high wind areas, Jackie, just be careful, folks, because we do care about you all and we want you to be safe and well out there. So just do that for us, peeps. Ted says, I will also be recalling any unauthorised dings. Oh,
yeah, told you we were in trouble.
Yeah,
He's going to have
yeah.
I can see he's going to come in with his proper actual captain's hat, isn't he? Just to lay down the law for that first show, I think.
Yeah, I think he's going to be sitting there, wouldn't he, clicking his knuckles, going, right, let's get a few things straight here. He's got a list, didn't he?
He'll have a captain's hat and a swagger stick. I know that's crossing the streams, but captain's hat and a swagger stick.
Yeah. Jeff says A and V okay. Thank you very much, as does the Bobbins. Good evening, Bobbins. I hope you're doing all right. Graham McRobert says, Skipper, do you still want to do the 1/32 scale Lancaster? Yes, folks.
He volunteered for that, didn't he?
On Monday's show, I may have suggested that people message so that we can let Pete know in the comments. And Graham was straight in there. By the way, Ted wants to build the Lancaster. Good man.
Yep.
PJ's in says, evening, Colin, Chipper, and everyone in the chat. So he did that.
Hey, PJ.
Athol, Belly and Bench. Belly is beef casserole and tatties, happy days, carrots and Swedish mash. Bench is green tea. Bench F15C, Eagle, Kobe, Lego, 48 scale, and Storm Babbitt. That's the name. Thank you very much, Storm Babbitt. Yeah, so please be safe. Jackie in caps has gone, Colin, oh dear. You know that gif I sent you in the walking away music, Fox?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was going to pop in the Zoom after the show, but I think I might wait for 24 hours in the hope.
I think the Magic 8 Ball might suggest against that.
Yes. Everyone saying hello to Maggie and Jeff and PJ. Lee is in Anfield Road, layout in the loft, he says. I'm just coming in to give you a like, have a good stream. No worries, Lee. Love to you and Jackie, mate. Thank you very much for popping in and giving a thumbs up. We are mindful it's a school night, so we will be on a couple of hours max because, so I said this on Monday, didn't I? I'll only do an hour. Yeah, 2.5 hours later.
Yeah, you can't do an hour live stream when you're by yourself, though, because you never get enough building done.
No, exactly. Skipper
got to be at least 2 hours.
Skipper in his belly says, spag bowl. Oh, spag bowl. Ooh. Made by Mrs. Ted. Bench. Oh, look, there's a Titanic. And we're not going to spoil the surprise for Monday, but viewers of a nervous disposition may be wondering why Ted turns up wearing a hat. That's all we're going to say.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, if he does turn up wearing his hat, me and Fox are going to be mocking him until he takes his hat off. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Matt B says, hello, fellas. Hello, Matt. Hey, Matt. How are you, mate? Welcome. So, that's the chat done, folks. Yep. How's me mum? Me mum, I've now awarded her tonight super duper special super secret legendary status and 1 million hugs because, mum is a legend now. Oh,
yes, because, like me and Colin do the Underneath the Arches bit, and we always do it as an in-joke. Mum, I was telling Mum Wolf earlier, and she started singing it, and then she carried on to the second line. I'm like, no, stop! So she said, why? I said, because it's not permitted to know anything beyond the first line. That's the whole point. Nobody knows anything after Underneath the Arches.
Yeah.
So, but I know all the words.
I know. She knew all the words. I'm so proud of her. So I worked it out that Mama Fox needs to be carried on a gondola by 4 burly, muscle-bound young men everywhere she goes, with the ground sprinkled around her with rose petals and everyone bowing and saying, all hail Mama Wolf.
And then a bit later, she said she used to know Betty from Wilson, Keppel and Betty. And I'm like, really?
I know. Name dropping and all. What can I say?
I feel compelled to go and buy an enormous sheet of sandpaper and some sandals.
Yeah. Graham saying he's got the 32nd scale Lank in his stash. Nice kit. Go for it. Absolutely. Nice. I reckon he'll do a mint job on that. So, I'm hoping he does it. So, folks, I'm hearing you ask what I'm up to. The eagle-eyed will notice
what you're up to.
I haven't got me 32nd scale, or 32nd, me 16th scale tank bits on the bench because I was mid-filming or had finished filming the Yamaha bike, and I put part 1 up at the beginning of this week, coincidentally on eModels' channel, folks. And I've got part 2 filmed, but the only thing I needed to film was the final reveal, and I needed to weather it, and I forgot. Because obviously I went in and had some stents put in me ticker, so I got taken out the loop in a rather speedy manner. So I forgot that this was in the tub unweathered, and I went to do the voiceover and everything on part 2 and thought, where's the reveal video? Did I film it? A muchly hunting took place on the system. And then I looked round at the dry box that I keep all my prepped models in when I've painted them, and there at the front was the unweathered bike. So I am going to be doing a very light smattering of sandy dust on my Yamaha Tenere so that I can film the latter part of the show. The 16th tank is still to my left, where I left it on Monday. And since Monday's show, I might as well show you, I've been through and I've cut off all of the track components ready because I've got to sand and denub every single one.
That makes the full armor Unicorn Gundam look like a breeze, a cakewalk.
Yeah, so it is there. Since Monday's show, I put the bottom half on the turret. I put the lip just inside below where the mantle will sit. And the only reason I've joined these two halves together, the kit instruction says to leave the bottom off until you've put the gun in. But there's a big gnarly seam, as you can see, that goes all the way up there. And I want to get rid of that because I don't like it. It sticks out like a blind cobbler's thumb. So I'm going to, on Monday, go over this and re-stipple it all so that I hide the seam. So I'll show you how I do that. And it's a little bit of Umbral glue, Umbral poly, I think it is, or liquid poly, and a bit of Umbral putty, and I mix it together on a little bit of cardboard, and I make a little stippling goo, and I can just lose that in amongst it. So
before you put that away, it can't be only me that looks at the little hatch on the side and sees somebody going, ah!
Yeah.
It's a face going, ah!
Yeah. I could do the combination Joe Pasquale, Alan Carr voice poking out there going, yeah, where's it gone?
I will find you and burn you to the ground.
Yeah. So that's where I am at that. I was going to sit and do some tracks tonight, but I kind of wanted to do a bit of weathering on this. So I shall leave the tank for Monday's streams and do a little bit on my bike. So that's what I'm going to be up to. What are you up to tonight, Gaze?
Tonight, I am, you've guessed it. Can you guess what I'm doing, kids? Yes, I'm chipping. Still chipping. I'm still doing the brown rust chips inside all the other chips, so I'll be doing that. I've got to do it on the main hull of the tank and this specific turret, and then that's all the chipping done.
Oh, nice one.
I know it seems like I've been doing chipping forever, but what you have to keep in mind is when I do a Baneblade, it's like a 130-hour paint job, but you're seeing it 2 hours a week. So, yeah, I've been doing chipping for a while. I do tend to spend 100 to 120, 30 hours painting these things in real life. So when it's only 2 hours a week, 4 hours a week, it takes a little while. So, yes, welcome to my world and the 3 days I spend doing chipping. You get to experience it firsthand.
Yeah. Good justification of just being lazy and taking your time, that, mate. I am mightily impressed.
Hey, King of the, you should understand. You're in the Weasel Club now.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, I'm an honorary member of the Weasel Club.
You're an honorary weasel.
Also, I'm in the
you're not honorary. You are a weasel.
Yeah.
You're not honorary. You are. I can't remember why, but you are.
Yeah, I am in the Weavy Club as well, folks. So.
Yeah, you can do a Weavy stream. I need to do one.
I will do one.
I need to do one.
So yeah, I've got a little bit of PVA mix as well that I'm putting in, just a few little grooves. So that when I put the pigment on, it does glue itself almost into some of these little seams on the bike, because it would be dusted off every night after they've done a stage. But in the recesses and the crooks and nannies, it may well have accumulated into a slightly crusty compound. Ugh.
Ew. Do you know what I did once on the underside of a vehicle? And I didn't think about it. I just thought, I'll try this and see what happens. I wanted to suggest that big build-up of crud that you get under cars.
Yeah.
Not like mud, but all that dried, powdery, just gink that you get under cars that gives you that dark black colour.
Yeah.
What I did was, I got some earth pigment powder, and I basically slapped on the underside of the vehicle a whole mess of medium.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like clear medium.
Yeah, lamier medium, anything like that. Yeah.
Mixed in with some matte varnish, and slathered it all over. And then I just got my big fat knackered old brush and pigment and went and just minged it all in. And basically, all the pigment, of course, went into the medium and whatever else it was I used to have just said, clear varnish.
Yeah.
And just made this indestructible crust of dirt under it. It was like, that was a good idea.
Absolutely.
Because it went back to its powdery look after it dried.
Yeah, that's all I do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Weathering's very good fun.
Just let it accumulate. That's all I tend to do. There's a million and one ways of doing it, you know, at the end of the day. We've all got our little ways that we do it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've got Peter the Puffer on the bench as well, so I tend to have a bit of pigment in that so that I can blast it in all the recesses of the engine. So, yeah, all the places that I can't get to with me brush, I can get this right in there and give it a bit of the old have you, a bit of him.
Have you a bit of it?
So that'll be getting used. But, yeah, it's just a light smattering of dust and detritus is all that is needed. Got a 50-50 PVA mix just on the side, so I can apply that to the chain. Because, yeah, I just want some of this pigment to stick, because obviously when it's unpacked, the last thing you want is all the pigment to drop off as it's getting packed or unpacked, ready to go on display. So, because
the pigment will just be a fine dusty coating if you don't adhere it with something, and most of it will come off, but some of it will stick, but not much.
Yeah, so that's how I tend to do it, and then I go in with me puffer nice and close there, as you can see. And that's now just blasted pigment all the way along that chain. As a very, very fine smatter. See that? Look at that. That is a fine smatter, mate.
Yeah. And the good thing is it'll change colour and fade as it dries anyway, so it'll look even more convincing.
Not a massive smatter. That was a fine smatter.
Damn fine. And you can always tweak it with a bit of alcohol, can't you? On a brush, you can fettle with it and move it around. And it's a good idea. I like your little puffer.
Yeah. Do you remember the other week you said, what's your least used weathering thing?
Yeah.
And I said, Peter the Puffer. That is what I meant, because it sits there. And every time I do weathering, I keep meaning to get it out and give it a flop. That sounded wrong, didn't it?
Wait.
Yeah. We'll leave that there.
Leave that one hanging, flopping.
But so it just lets me put the pigment in the seams there, and then I leave it till it's dried, and then right at the very end I then go over it with a very very soft brush. And what I tend to use is my keyboard cleaning brush, one of them. It's a laptop brush. And that is super fine. As you can see, there's multiple pigment in there. But
that's nice.
It really is like that, as you can see. I've got the dust coming up, and you give it a...
Not like that. Like that.
There you go. Have you a bit of me? And so that'll be getting used. What have we got in the chat? Jackie, Benny was a chicken hot pot for Kev, and I had vegetarian lasagna. PJ says, Belly, egg, bacon, tomato mushrooms and chips. Bench is a 125th Revell Dodge Viper SRT 10 ACR. Beverage is a chilled Sauvignon Blanc. That's a wine cold. No worries, mate. No worries, mate.
That's wine cold.
Yeah, is that like that Dom Perignon stuff? Yeah. And our Dennis's patty. Athol says that bike, Colin, is like what Nora used to ride on her Dakar rally. Absolutely, mate. Bobby says, don't you dare do an Uncle Weavy stream. Or is that a challenge? Me and Fox had a dare the other month, didn't we? We dared each other to do an overnight Uncle Weavy stream across both channels, but we then realised that there would be a massive hate campaign against us, so we bottled it, didn't we?
The thing is, though, it's like, like when you tell a 5-year-old not to do something, do you know what the 5-year-old does?
Yeah.
That's why you should never tell us not to do something.
Yeah. Jeff says, is that puffer thing available from eModels? No, it's not. I will put a link up, Jeff, on my website, mate.
Yep.
as to where you can get them. It was my lad. My lad put me in touch with these things because he's a barber, and he uses one at the barber shop with the. It's like an embossing powder, but like people with comb overs or fellas that are really sensitive about bald patches, what the barbers do is they apply the powder like a hair thickener into their hair, special occasions like weddings or anything like that. So they do it as a shielding agent almost, or and that's why. And he gave me a link for it, so I will add the link to this to my website, Jeff. If you PM me a message to remind me, mate, and I'll add that once we go off stream. I can't do it on the stream because I have to go into my Amazon account, and I can't do that.
So it's
live.
a hairdressing product.
Pretty much, yeah.
Cool.
So yeah.
Of course,
absolute godsend, because again, that's another non-intended model thing that you could use for the modelling.
Of course, folks, if you want eModels to start selling it, just drop them a line and say, hey, please, can you get some of these in stock? And we use them for modelling, and they'll do it. Yeah. I actually convinced them to get Pledge in stock way back in the day. Yeah. And they were going to get lots of Pledge 2 times more shine stuff in stock. But it was just at the point where it was impossible to get hold of, so it never actually happened.
Yeah, why was that impossible to get hold of, Fox? Did someone buy pretty much the entire UK stock of it?
I did not do it. No, that was Starship Filth.
Yeah.
You mistake me, sir, for someone else. No, it was when they stopped calling it that, and it changed name, and it just disappeared off the shelves all of a sudden. And but they were going to get that in stock, so yeah. If it's something model makers can use, nothing wrong with dropping them a line. They might be able to get it in stock for you.
There you go.
For the future. You never know.
It's a handy little thing. He said, we'll do that at the end. No worries, Jeff, and I will put a link up on my site for it, mate, because, yeah. Because, it's going to come into its own when I do the 1/16th, as you know, so, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because, they've got their uses, these things.
The good thing with that 1/16th tank is that when you do the weathering on that, you can pretty much do actual weathering on it because it's big enough that you could just duplicate the actual weathering process for real. Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to drive it through some dust. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Like I say, I'm really looking forward to doing it. You know, it's one of them, isn't it? And
somebody did ask on Monday, but I don't think you saw the comment asking if you're going to remote control it up.
Yeah, that was Athol. No, I'm not.
Oh, was it? Oh.
No, because it's going back to eModels, and it's going to just sit under a counter, isn't it? So there's no point.
No. Plus, we don't actually put our own coin into eModels builds. We don't invest in them.
Some of us don't. I do. I mean, I've just been out and bought a load of figures for the bus and lighting equipment. So,
you know what you like.
Yeah, but they're good enough to send me an 130 quid kit. The least I can do is,
Yes.
I know it goes against your grain, but at the end of the day, I just think it's respecting the build.
Yeah, we are building it for them as well. So.
Absolutely. So, you know. Yeah, but dare I say, you do it your way, I'll do it mine.
Yeah, it was like somebody asked me when I was doing the Eagle if I was going to put all this lighting and stuff in it, and I was like, no, because I don't put my own money in, because they go back to eModels, so
yeah, but
it's never going to get you. Once it's on the shelf, it's never going to be touched. But then somebody sent me a lighting kit. So.
I do have a feeling that this may end up at someone's house. I won't say who, Pete.
Ew, I can't imagine who that would be. Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of them, you know. Again, just put a little bit in the recesses down there.
Just a little bit.
Little bit of that.
You like your recesses, don't you?
I do, mate. I like a bit of recessing. Retro says, I didn't wake up this morning thinking I'm going to be an Aston Martin DB7 with a big hammer, but here we are. Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah. The funniest thing I ever saw, and funny in a tragic way for the owner of the car, when I was doing my detailing.
Yeah.
It just reminded me. We were at this showroom, and it was a top-notch showroom, all the supercars and stuff.
Yeah.
and they had whatever the most current Aston Martin was in about 2014.
Yeah.
It was one of them, but like the absolute top of the range. So I've got a couple $100,000 or whatever I don't know how much they cost. This is going back 10 years. And we're there. We were actually there doing some work on a car. Bearing in mind we're full-on professional detailers. And this scruffy-looking van comes in, and it's a valeter. Now, if you're not in the world, you won't know this, but basically detailers look down on valeters. Because valeters just like, it's the car wash guy, to a detailer. A detailer is like, we're professionals, you're just some bloke with a power washer, there you go. So anyway, he turns up. And we're there with the owner of this place, and we said, what's that? And he said, one of our customers has got, Astra Martin's, he's got this valeter that he uses, and he wants it, we're doing some work on it, but he wants his valet to come in and clean it all up when he's finished. And he's like, valeter? Did you tell him that you've got access to detail? He went, yeah, we told him, but he wanted his valeter. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This valeter comes in, and for whatever reason, he had to put the car up on a jack.
Yeah.
But what he didn't do was A, use a trolley jack, or B, know where the jacking points were.
Oh.
So we got this real crappy back of a Ford Fiesta jack, started doing this, and there was this God almighty crunch as the jack just went straight through the floor of the car. The car went, and this jack's just sticking up through the floor, and he's like, and this showroom owner's there, and we're there, and we're all just going, oh my life.
Yeah.
And this valeter's like, slight brown trouser moment, $250,000 car. And so I said to the guy that owns the showroom, I said,
yeah,
tell him you know a good detailer when he's had it fixed.
Absolutely. Retro says, what are you using to fix the pigment powder? I've got a PVA mix that I've got, a little 50-50 mix. At the moment is what I'm using just to get it in recesses. And then later on, I shall be using a bit of Lamia medium as well. So.
Yep. It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Absolutely. So I'm just using the PVA to get the stuff really built up in areas that I want. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of it will be done with Lamia medium.
Yep.
There's more than one way to do it, but...
Yeah, basically whatever as long as you use something that's clear, matte and sticky in some way. Like me with my, what did I say? I forgot what matte varnish, wasn't it, I used? I never thought of using PVA, which would have been a no-brainer, really, but I never thought of using that. As long as it's clear and either matte or can be varnish matte. Perfect.
Exactly that.
Perfectamundo.
And then I just leave it pretty much powdered on, and then I can go back at it and move it around once the bulk of it's dried.
Yep.
That's why I've got a bit of white paper there with a fold on it, because then I can just fold the paper right in there and tip all the excess pigment back in the jar.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Because, yeah.
And one handy tip, if you've never used pigments before, for the love of dog, please cover up your workbench, because trust me, the one thing you can't get out of a cutting mat is pigment. Even though if you put pigment on a model and don't fix it, it falls off. If you put pigment on a cutting mat, it's there forever.
Just use an old mat.
Yeah, an old mat, or just put a piece of paper or tissue down like Colin's got there. Also, because you can save your powder.
I mean, it's not my filming mat, this anyway, so I don't mind. This is my beat the bench up mat, and yeah.
Oh yeah, the powders are great fun, but they're very messy. They go everywhere.
Certainly do.
Oh yeah, they're like 5-year-olds. It's always like 5-year-olds, isn't it? This hobby.
Oh yeah.
Like 5-year-olds. They go everywhere and they turn up where you least expect.
But no, it's good fun. Yeah.
And I have to say, it's quite a nice little twee relaxing noise it makes as well.
I don't know, I can't hear it, mate. So
it's quite if you just did a video of you doing that, it'd be a nice ASMR video.
Oh, would it really? Oh, sorry if it's loud, folks. I didn't, because I don't hear it. So
no, that's what I'm saying. It'd be a great ASMR video because it's nice and soothing sound. It's a little gentle sound. It's quite pleasing to the ear.
Yeah.
Tiny sounds.
You're so easily pleased, aren't you, dear?
I am. I like anything that's like does little. I like tiny sounds and tiny things.
I worry about you, you know. What else have we got going on in the chat? Graham says, what was the price for the kit you got on screen? There's a link for this, I do believe. If there isn't, I can add one at the end. I think it's about £35–40, if I remember rightly. I'm not 100% certain.
For the bike?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put a link in the blurb.
Yeah. So
I can't remember the price there. There is a link in the description below.
Yeah. I think I did. If I didn't, then I'll grab a link in a minute. But
no, you did, because it was in your mail to James.
Oh, was it? Okay. Yeah. I do tend to forget whether I've put links in, so.
Yep.
But he proofreads it, so he lets me know. Bless him.
No, I didn't proofread it. I get you copy me in on the mail, so I'm going to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a great wordsmith.
Fine, I don't do anything with them. I just let them. It's just more a reminder for me to put it on the Facebooks. But now you put the link in there, so it's all good.
Let's get a bit of that in there.
A little bit of that in there.
Absolutely.
What's your bench and belly tonight then, if you've not had your belly already?
My bench obviously is a Yamaha Tenere.
Yeah, I don't know why I asked that bit.
Wednesday is bangers and mash, mate.
Oh, bangers and mash and beans?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, I'll be full-blown Jackie mode later, mate.
If you were really good, would you get bangers, mash and beans and a potato waffle?
Oh, yeah.
Or is that asking too much, you think?
Yeah, but...
I've gone a bit too far. You're never that good, though, are you?
No, I'm not, mate. That would mean that would mean me not actually being in the doghouse, mate. And
that would require you to not be breathing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I may be a little bit in the doghouse, but.
Oh no! What have we done now? Are you allowed to tell us, or?
Not on a family-friendly show, no.
Oh no! Oh dear.
I'm mindful it's an eModel. Yeah, I'm mindful it's an eModel stream, so.
Okay, so it's one of those goofs.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not like putting a car component in the microwave or something.
Oh no, nothing like that. But I'm not going to say live on air, mate. Not on an eModel stream because. Yeah.
No. Bless you. You're always in trouble, aren't you, for something?
It's because I'm a man. I'm an idiot.
Because you're a married man.
Yeah. She just looks at me and says, oh, God, really?
McLeish says, Festa, GNU.
Hello, Andy.
Welcome, Andy McLeish.
How are you, mate? Nice to see you in, mate. And, yeah, a big thank you as well to each and every one of you that showed up on Monday.
Yes.
And helped me through my baptism of fire. So a massive thanks to all of you that took the time to come and keep me company.
Yep, you did very well on Monday. It was a very good show.
Yeah, so it was nice that you all came in and gave your support. So.
Yep, it was good.
It was fun for me. And
that's what I like to hear.
Hopefully it translated as well. So
Rabbit says, Belly, whatever I pick up from Costco or McDonald's, bench, the same old mess of nothings.
Good man.
Lewis says, McLeish. McLeish says, Lewis. Thing is, only McLeish can sound like Morse, whereas Lewis can't say McLeish because Morse never says McLeish. I hope I can hear the police, or it might be an ambulance.
Yeah. We had it. We get a lot of bikes doing the laps where we live on the horseshoe and the ring road. And Monday, you heard the bike go past, and I was like, "Yeah, he's coming up to the horseshoe. If he's not a local, he won't know the police sit up there." And all of a sudden, you heard the siren. You didn't hear the bike for the rest of the evening, so he obviously got a tug.
Yeah, he got a tug, and that bike was taken away and crushed, probably.
Yeah, if it was his second offence, it would have been crushed.
Yeah, or if he had no insurance for it. Do you have insurance for little like dirt bike type things?
No, these are full-blown 1400cc Hayabusas, mate.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he had no insurance.
You know, we had one guy that he did track days at Thruxton. So his bike was proper on full track slicks and everything, and he thought he'd be cocky and do half a dozen laps. And apparently he actually cried like a 5-year-old when his prized race bike was crushed.
Good.
Served him right, didn't it?
That's what you get for being a spoon.
Yeah. Andy McLeish says, we gave Festa the same support as stockings with suspenders. Yeah, I worry about you, Andy.
As the old wedding joke goes, I'd like to thank the father of the bride for his support. I'll give it back to you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an old Morecambe and Wise, I think that one.
Oh, yeah, legends that are Morecambe and Wise. Certainly are, mate. So what's your next stage of the Baneblade plan then, dude? When that you're obviously going to be coming to the end of your chipping fun times at some point.
My chipping, not Pygmalion, what's the word? I don't know. Thing that lasts for a lot. It's episode, let's just say. Once I've done all this chipping, I need to actually paint all the details that aren't just the camouflage stuff. So all the metal things and tools and the grills and grating, anything that isn't this camouflage colour, so the tracks, the wheel tyres, the big cannons, all the gold trim, all that kind of stuff, has to be painted as well. And then once that's done, that's when the weathering can start. And then once all the weathering's done, that's when the track painting can start. No, I'll get the tracks painted up before I do all the weathering, because then I can do all the weathering in one go. Yeah,
that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, but I need to get the tracks painted up in their base rust colours. Ooh, bit of thunder.
No, that was me cleaning the paper.
I know.
McLeish says, haha, if you're worried about me now, well, does a Kenny Everett. All done in the best possible taste.
Possible taste.
Oh, mate, that is... I used to like a bit of Kenny Everett, bless him.
Yeah.
Absolute legend.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly went too young, but then most of them do. But,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It seems to be the way.
He got away with that for years, that character.
It was a little bit like our kind of Robin Williams, wasn't it? A little bit. Not full on, but he had a hint of Robin Williams about him, slightly manic.
He had an air of cheekiness about him that was very endearing. And they had a change for the Americans. They had a change of BBC chairman when Kenny Everett was at the height of his career. And this BBC chairman actually watched one of the shows and realised the anagram of the character, what it meant, straight away. And apparently his face dropped massively when the penny finally dropped. But Kenny Everett had got away with this for about a dozen years. So
that'll be Cupid then, wouldn't it?
Cupid, Obviously, again, I'm mindful that it's eModels, so...
Yes.
Can't say the rest of it.
You know you're a certain talent when you get fired from the BBC and from ITV.
Yeah.
And not even that, when you get fired from a pirate radio station. Come on. I mean, being fired from a pirate radio station, that's kind of a legendary status.
He did really well to do that. That is an absolute legendary achievement. Was that Radio Caroline, was it? Or Luxembourg or something? It was...
Not sure if it was Radio Caroline. It might have been Radio Caroline, I'm not sure.
Yeah, was it
it wasn't Lollipop, was it?
Yeah. He proper... Yeah, he obviously, I can't say too much, but he had a massive falling out with the BBC over a certain person that will remain nameless. But yeah. And at the time, people didn't get it. And then years later, they did get it. So. But sadly, taken far too young. And he was a comedy genius. You know, he was Marmite, wasn't he, Kenny Everett? You either liked him or you didn't. But I don't see how anyone couldn't like him, to be honest with you.
It was always fun watching him do interviews. Because he really didn't care. He was just so he was just totally comfortable with it.
You didn't know what he was going to do next. Wogan famously said that even though he worked with him as a DJ, he found him the most difficult person to interview because he was so unpredictable.
Yeah, he just didn't know.
You didn't know what he was going to do. And that was the beauty of it. And he was, like you say, Robin Williams.
Yeah.
You know, a very, very talented genius. He had his troubles, don't get us wrong. But, by Christ, could he hold an audience?
Oh, yeah. It's like, he'd walk onto Wogan and be like, hello, darling, to Wogan or to Parkinson or somebody. Which is very tame by today's standards, but in those days was like, that's so avant-garde.
Well, I mean, Michael Parkinson was just in stitches because he made the mistake of having Kenny Everett, Freddie Starr and Billy Connolly on the same show.
Oh, yeah.
And as we all know, that went really well. It was...
Not many questions were asked that day.
No, it's not been repeated, has it, on the telly? It was...
I don't think so.
It was one of them. It was like, yeah, we won't show that again. Yeah, it was fun.
McLeish says, haha, I just Googled it. I'm dying. Yes, he just looked up that character.
Yeah. The name of it, Andy. Just think about the anagram, mate.
Oh, he's got it because he's laughing already.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how they didn't realise it because, I was a school kid and even we figured out what it was.
We knew straight away, didn't we? And I can remember when my mum finally the penny dropped, she went, how the hell has he got away with that all these years? Because we was like, you do realise, Mum, that's an anagram of this. And she went, oh, what? Like, yeah.
It's like a spoonerism, isn't it?
Yeah, she said, how the hell has he got away with it? Oh, bless him. So sad.
Yes.
We reminisce about our past, but I think we've been blessed with our generation because we have had some of, I think, the all-time comedy greats in our lifetime.
Oh, yeah, comedy now is just irrelevant. There's nobody in the comedy scene now that I am even remotely interested in.
No.
No actor or, no, typical, somebody who would have a comedy programme or do stand-up. Mm-hmm. None of them. Just none of them are any interest at all. No. When you grow up with people like Billy Connolly, Frankie Howard, and those kind of, Morecambe Wise and stuff, you look at today's comedy, it's not even funny. It's just, nowadays, comedy equals being edgy. It's like, no, It doesn't. Not really. It's just not funny, no. It basically means we're old.
Oh, yeah, I like being an old wazzock, to be honest with you.
These kids today with their rock and their roll and their hippity hop. Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn. But it's just like... If there's any comedians out there now who are remotely funny, then they're the ones who were kind of... It's the last vestiges of those that started off in the 90s, perhaps.
Yeah. Hopefully you're beginning to see where I'm going. Sorry, mate, I interrupted you.
Oh, yeah. Go on. Let's have a look.
There you go. That's kind of where we're going.
Oh, I like that.
I'll just full screen it for a sec. There you go.
Nice.
But just by putting that line of PVA in that seat scene and getting Peter the Puffer out, that's just, for me, just putting enough pigment there. I'll let that go off and then I can flick it diagonally with a brush where the rider's legs have been rubbing and chafing it. So
I like it in the tyre. It's just this subtle hint of dust in between the tyre.
And again, that's got to be brushed yet. That's got to be all sort of weathered down a bit. But yeah, so that's what I'm up to.
On the tyres, did you run the gloopy stuff between the lumps?
Yeah. I've basically gone round with the PVA and done it between the stubs or the chunks. Yeah. And then once this is gone off, I'll then get a sander and then lightly abrade the pads so that they go back to a black. But also, I just want to nick some of the edges so it looks like the knobbly tyres a bit. Have you a bit of that?
Had a bit of wearing.
Yeah, especially where it's come off the desert sand onto perhaps a tarmac surface. Yeah. Or something, it's going to abrade.
Well, you get that natural cracking of rubber anyway, don't you?
Yeah. So that's... Sorry, I'm still full screen. Let's go back to that. There you go.
Welcome to chunks. Please choose your chunk.
Yeah. So that's what I'm up to, folks.
Nothing for me to show you because you know what I'm doing. I'm doing brown chips.
Hey, that's all right. Don't fret. Don't fret, dear. You do what you got to do, mate.
I'm not fretting. I'm just saying. The irony is that once I've finished painting all these tiny details, my next step is painting more tiny details.
Yeah. I haven't finished my Baneblade, for those that are wondering. It's just, after 6 shows, I just wanted to just move on to something else, because I've only got the tracks to do. And literally, it's going to be a track wash and then an hour of waiting for it to dry. So it's not much for you to see on stream.
No. Some stuff is just not worth doing on the stream.
Yeah, so I shall film that process so that you get to see what I did to achieve it, and I'll put that out on eModels as a build update video. So
yeah. Whereas I don't have another eModels build in the works yet, so I might as well stick with this and carry on.
I've got another one coming for next week. Good. Didn't want that mouse anyway. Really?
Did you not want that mouse?
No, I twitched. My chair squeaked there. Yeah, I've got another small build coming for next Wednesday's show, so I'll be launching that next Wednesday. And I'm not going to tell you what it is until I unveil it on air. It's a nice, fun little build to do over 3 or 4 shows. And yeah, so look out for that.
Human foot?
No, Chris has done one of them.
Is it half a horse?
No, Tony did Haroldite the Wonder Horse, and you can't beat Haroldite the Wonder Horse, folks.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Is it the other half of a horse?
Yeah, the other half, yeah.
No, it's not half a horse. Was it the other half? No, it's not that
Never
half
met
either.
the bloke half a horse. I see what I did.
I see what you did there. Underneath the
arches.
Cheers. What offer?
You're doing your Mockney voice again, you are, aren't you?
I'm doing my what offer. All right, Terry.
They grow up so quick, folks. So what are you thinking of after the Baneblade then, dear? Because obviously you're the de facto Warhammer builder for them, so is it going to be Warhammer, or are you...
I don't know. It might be. I'm on safe territory with Warhammer. I know what I'm doing. Well, I don't know what I'm doing, but, you know.
Or are you going to go for a bit of variety and perhaps come out of your comfort zone? I don't know.
Steady now. Steady. I don't know. I'd have to have a look and see what tickled the old fancy.
Yeah.
At this point, I cannot say. It will not be anything shiny, obviously, because I'm just never going to get me to build a shiny car or bike. It's just, don't even think about that. It's not going to happen. Everybody wants me to do a shiny car, and it's like, no. Couldn't pay me enough. And you know what? They don't pay me. So, ain't going to be no shiny car or nothing neither. I don't know. I haven't thought about it, to be honest. Do.
One of them, innit? It'll come to you when it's good and ready.
Yeah. Maybe I might try like a some sort of large figure, Warhammer type figure, like a Age of Sigmar type big monster dude. Because I've not done it yet.
Yeah.
I built a few, but I never painted them. I've got a few to paint, so it might be worth having a go.
Yeah, that'll be something different, won't it?
Yeah, I can try it out on eModels Dime. And then check it out and see what it's like. That might be fun, because then I'll just be painting a big dude for like weeks and weeks.
What's that, like a Canis Rex type dude, you mean? Or
no, like a sort of Mortarion, the Primarch, or one of the Age of Sigmar big like monsters. I've got a few that I built for myself.
Yeah.
Like the Archaon, the Everchosen, or my favourite one is what's it called? Something. It's the it's called the. I've got it there. I can see it in my cabinet. It's a dude with 3 heads. No, a bird dude with 2 heads.
Oh right, yeah, I know the one. Yeah.
Or he can have 1 head. He's all blue. But I've forgotten his name. Kairos Fate Weaver. That's it. It's like one of the large ones that's maybe like a foot tall. It's not just a little dude. It's like a big character thing, like a monster or a dragon or something. I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
Because I've not yet tried Of course, I've done vehicles, I've done little tiny figures, but I've never tried painting those big kind of organic things, and that will be out of my comfort zone because I've not done it yet. So
there you go.
That'll be interesting. I have got a Kairos Fate Weaver and an Archaon to paint, but they're mine. So might give it one of them a go.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I might just buy a pack. I might just order a pack of Tamiya farm animals. This week, I am mostly painting cows.
Why wouldn't I put that past you?
Yeah, what are you painting this week, Fox? Cows. They're really cows.
Yeah, painting a big moo-moo. Yeah.
Painting a big cow, but it's Warhammer.
Yeah. Lynn Dipple is in saying hi, Colin, and Fox Hugs. Hello, Lynn. Hello, darling. Question, Lynn. How's your new job going, love? Are you
got a new job again?
Yeah.
You ready? Cool. Nice one.
Yeah, she was unfortunately laid off, mate, due to the cost of living crisis. And
I didn't know she got a new job. And I knew she'd been laid off, but I didn't realise she'd been looking to get a job. Cool.
So hopefully it's going all right for you, Lynn, because you could do with a bit of luck, darling.
Yeah. Because she only just moved down there, hasn't she? Up there. Yeah, so I figure I've not done any real big, massive character painting, so it'd be fun to learn.
Yeah.
And we're better to learn than on live television under no pressure whatsoever.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to do. I think it's more fun when I'm not in my comfort zone, so people get to see me do something new. Same with the both of us.
Well, as like I said before, it gives the viewers a bit of interest, doesn't it? Because, like I say, they're doing the same thing week in, week out. Yeah. People will start falling asleep, won't they?
Plus, if there's a chance of jeopardy that you'll screw it up, then bonus.
Lynn says, I've just watched the first episode of that build. You're now almost done. Thanks for the spoiler. Yeah, it's just my kit that I wanted to launch tonight hasn't arrived yet. So, I'm only doing the weathering, Lynn. You can still get to see how it was built up.
Yeah, don't worry, Lynn. Nobody's seen the other episode yet, though. It's the first episode. We all know how it ends.
This is what's on my bench.
Here's a question for you.
Yes.
What would you do if you were doing live streaming a build and it'd been going on for weeks and weeks and it got to the point where you realised you'd made a complete bish of it and it was irretrievable?
Settle it.
No, I mean, it was like there's no way to recover it at all. It was just like, it would be like, it's just got to go in the bin because it's beyond redemption. You'd say you'd done something and it had gone so horribly wrong and you're like, you know what? It's gone wrong. I can't fix it. I'm losing the will to let it. What would you do?
To me, no kit is unfixable, mate.
Yeah, interesting.
Because at the end of the day, you could always do it as an abandoned vehicle if it's a car, or a dystopian scene, or you could greeble it up and use it for bits for other builds. And so for me, no build is unsavable. There's always a way of redeeming it. It may not be the nice, shiny car build you had intended, but you've still managed to save it. I've never yet thrown a kit in the bin or destroyed a model. It's just my personal thing, mate. I've never had to do it.
I've never had that happen, but I can imagine at some point I'll be doing something on a live stream and it'll be like, you know what? I'm not feeling this build. It's not coming out the way I thought. It looks terrible. I'm going to give up. But I think I would
close to that with the Orc Stomper.
Yeah.
Because it was one of them, wasn't it, where you had to mess it up or go through the scabby stage, and it was just getting over that barrier, and that one was a bit of a slog, I must admit. But
yeah,
certainly parking it like we have for a while, I think, was the right decision because we was both getting stomped to death, mate.
Yeah, I mean, with that one, I wouldn't say it had gone wrong. I just lost the will to live with it, I think, on that one. So I will go back to it.
Yeah.
But I hope that I will just be honest enough to say to people, right, we've been doing this build for 8 weeks now and it's gone to pot. I'm not happy with it. It's not coming out the way I wanted. Everything I tried goes wrong. I'm just going to shelve it and either just strip it down and redo it or bin it or whatever I do to it. But I'd be honest with the audience and say, you know what?
Oh, yeah, because at the end of the day, you've got to be honest because at the end of the day, the audience aren't daft.
They know.
You know, and the minute you take your audience for granted, to me, you've lost your audience.
Yeah.
And you've certainly lost their respect. So, you know, they'll know. Yeah. They'll know that you've nosed the build up because, you know, it's not rocket science.
You know what, folks, this build's over.
But yeah, we've had some close calls, put it that way. But I've never. I had this conversation before when I used to stream with someone else, and I've never destroyed a kit. I've never had to abandon a build or bin a build because to me it's always redeemable. You can always get out of the hole just by changing the build philosophy for that one. Yeah. You know, so instead of it being a nice shiny race car, for instance, it's now an abandoned rusty heap because you know you've either the lacquer's gone a bit funny, or you know and it's attacked the plastic, and you're like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to redeem that. Well, that becomes a rust bucket then, doesn't it?
Yeah. Good answer.
For me, that's how I do it. The chat, have you had to abandon builds like that, or do you bin builds if they go wrong, or do you persevere and park it to one side and revisit it many months later?
I'd say the only two things I've ever really binned were the Airfix Junkers 52, which I talked about before, which I opened the box, saw what the quality of the model kit, and just put it in the bin. Yeah, it was just that bad. Yeah, I saved a few bits for Greebles, but it wasn't worth anything. And was my original 172nd U-boat that I built, was really proud of. And then about a year and a half, 2 years later, I built another one as a commission, and it was so vastly superior to the first one I did. I just took the first one out in disgust, snapped it in half, put it in the bin. It was like, yeah, that's rubbish. I don't know why. It was just a moment of, that's just garbage. I'm throwing it. It's offending me. I'm going to throw it out. It was so bad.
Oh, yeah, you know.
First U-boat.
Oh, there's nothing worse than when you look forward to a kit and you think, yeah, and it arrives and you have that moment where you open the box and you're like,
oh,
that ain't what I thought it was going to be. That is, I can find destroying because I then have to motivate myself to do the build.
That is exactly what I went through with the Mobius Colonial 1 from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They did a thing saying, we're going to release the Colonial 1 from Battlestar Galactica, and it's a brilliant looking ship. It has a Pan Am style logo on the side. And it's not Pan, but it looks like an old Boeing spaceship, and it's got like almost Pan Am like logo. And somebody actually released Pan Am decals for it because it looks like that kind of thing. And I'm like, it's a great looking ship. I want to build one. Yes, we'll do it now. It's you can pre-order it now, and it's going to be available like this time next year. So okay, brilliant. So I pre-ordered it, and then that time next year came, and it got delayed for about another 8 months.
Yeah,
and then eventually it came out. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, it's great. It's going to be great. And I was stoked to get it. And I got it. And it was like that big.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is this? And it was like that big. And this is a big, long spaceship. It was like that big. It had like massive, deep trench panel lines on it. It's like, really?
Oh, no.
That'd be like 20 foot in real life. And it was like the decals for the patterning down the side was one giant long decal. And I'm like, Mobius, you can't do decals for your life. I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, that is soul destroying when you get that.
And it was tiny and like, oh, not that great. And I'm like, wow, this was not what I expected at all. But I was like, come on, Mobius, you can't even do a stripe decal on a Viper without it ripping into 15 pieces. Yeah. There's no way I'm putting the decals on the whole side of this shit. But yeah, it was so disappointing. I gave it away as a competition prize, I think, in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, that can be a bit soul destroying. Yeah, no. But...
I mean, it would have been all right. It was just small. I'm like, I was kind of expecting something a bit bigger. And it wasn't that detailed. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, but then as your skills evolve, you know, you can add them. You know, you're a guru at the end of the day. It's in your name. So, you know, that's when you can apply techniques that you've learned over the years, isn't it, to detail the build up.
But it still didn't make out that it was still a tiny little poxy little kit and didn't look... It was like It was like expecting a 1/32 scale F-16 and getting a 1/72 scale NAT.
Oh,
It was
right,
like,
yeah.
oh, look, I've got 5 parts to this. And there were literally about 6 parts to it. I'm like, oh. So to this day, I really wish that someone will make a real big, high-quality model of the Colonial one for Battlestar Galactica, the reboot, because it's a fan. If anyone's never seen it, go and look it up. It just looks great, and you have to put Pan Am decals on it. It looks perfect with Pan Am decals on it.
Yeah, I mean, I had the Revell, Star Trek Voyager, and that's a bit of a mong. I got the...
it's big.
Yeah, I got the photo etch set for it and all of that lot to try and detail it up. And that's sat in primer now for the last 6 years because I just can't bring myself to getting interested in the build. I will finish it, but it's one of those. It's a bit like the Nimitz. It's like, we'll get round to doing it. Sarah Jane is in the chat saying hello. Hello, Sarah Jane. Nice to see you in.
Sometimes you get like a nice surprise, like the Federation Runabout Yangtze Kiang kit from Revell / now it's on round 2, which is only got a limited number of parts, but it's 1/72 scale. It's like about 2 foot long.
Yeah.
So the surface detail's a bit rubbish, but it's massive. It's a huge, great, dirty, great big Federation Runabout, and it's like, that's a really nice kit. It's not hard to build.
Yeah.
And it's not too bad even for a Revell. It's actually all right. So it's like, you get nice surprises like that, and it's like, okay. But then you get this little tiny Colonial one. It's like, really?
Yeah.
After you did such a great job with the Colonial Viper.
It does make you wonder sometimes, doesn't it? It's like, what were they thinking?
It's like, it's just a great looking ship. If anybody's not sure, go and look up the Colonial. It's a great looking classic it's like a vintage, it looks like a 1950s jetliner made into a spaceship. It's great. And it's perfect for the President's heavy. Colonial heavy. It's great. And it was so disappointing.
Yeah. We all get that, though. Like you say, you get a kit and you think, that's really not what I thought it was going to be. And that can sometimes, like I say, that's probably the only time I ever get a little bit disillusioned.
Yeah.
But then I think, okay, it's a pup. Let's make a silk purse out of this sales here. And then I find that motivates me just to try to make something of it. A bit like the 124 Fury, everyone and their dog said it was a pup of a kit. And I thought, well, let's try and make something of it. So I thought, well, I'm going to open the doors. I'm going to try and add some detail, some figures and things like that. I just try to make it something better than what the actual kit was. And that worked, and it garnered a bit of interest in the kit, and that motivated me to go that little bit further with that particular build. So,
well, that's the advantage that you have, you see, is that you actually enjoy that kind of bodging and kit bashing and customization.
Yeah. For
someone like me who has no interest in the build side really at all, I just want to get the thing built so I can paint it.
Yeah.
If I get a pup of a kit, like if you get a pup kit, you can be like, well, I can do this, I can cut this. And you love that. I'm like, I just want to get the build bit done. I'm not interested in that at all. So if I get a pup kit, it's like, it goes back in the box because I've not got that fix it urge. It's like,
I'm like 5.5 curiosity and all of that lot and think, I can make something out of this just by... Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, I'll do the build and then I just put it to one side and let it talk to me. Yeah. And that'll give me a direction then that I can go just to make the build a little bit different. Yeah.
It's tricky for me because I said for me, the build is just the bit that I have to do to get to the painting.
Yeah.
It's reluctantly done as quickly as possible in most cases. So... I don't have that advantage of saying, well, it's recoverable because I can do this, this, and this. I'm like, no, I just want to build it, and it's garbage. So, thanks, whoever made the kit.
Yeah, it's like, cheers for that. You really did make my day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then again, occasionally you get a model where there's a bit that puts you off building it for sheer fear. Like you with your giant squigoth.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, on that, Edward sent me that, didn't he? He sent me the body of a squigoth. to do. So I've 3D done a head, a holder, and all of that lot. And it's ready to start the build stage now. So I'll probably end up putting that together at some point soon. I've got it literally just over there on the shelf. So I shall start the assembly of that, and then it will sit on the turntable in the corner.
But you know,
and I'll let it talk to me then. Yeah,
but we all know secretly you're sitting there not wanting to do it and hiding from it because you don't want to paint the wedge.
Oh yeah.
He'll build it and then he'll just put it on the shelf and it'll never get painted. Why haven't you painted that?
Edward's always going to say, why is the wedge still in primer? Yeah.
Painted the wedge bit.
Yeah, especially when you run the contrast paints in there to give it a little bit of
yeah. Paddle line detailing. Oh
yeah. Yeah, it's like, But I am looking forward to that build, I must admit, because again, it's out of my comfort zone because I'm not a creature painter. Does that make sense?
No, that's the thing with me. It's like I'm quite happy painting figures, sort of.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, I find painting orcs really easy. But painting something big like a Sprigoth or one of the bigger monsters like the Archaon and stuff like that, which I've got them built, I've just never got around to painting them. It's like I quite fancy doing that, and that'd be a new thing for me because it's out of my comfort zone. So that might be the next thing I do on this stream.
Absolutely.
Trying to stream a 1.5 foot tall figure with big sticky out wings and everything, that's going to be so much not difficult at all.
Yeah, we do like doing this, don't we? Going for the really difficult builds to live stream, don't we?
We either make things so big you can't get it on camera and it's a pain, or so small that you can't see me doing anything. We're just idiots. You know we're idiots.
Oh, absolutely. We certainly are.
They know we're special.
Oh, we're very special.
Yes. Now, I must away for a moment, so let me just finish painting
no worries.
This bit. And I shall away for 2 moments.
Yeah, no worries. Athol says, went shopping today. He had enough pita bread in for when it's flying outside, so should be okay. Bit of bread and tomato soup. Oh, nice one, mate. I like a bit of Tommy soup, but I've got some oxtail soup next door. I might have that overnight because I do like a bit of soup. A cup of soup's still a thing. Do you remember them, folks? The soup in a sachet. I don't know whether they're still a thing, but I remember having them as a kid. I used to like a bit of the old cup of soup. So, yeah, easily pleased, mate, I am. So I'm a man of very easy tastes, as my missus says. You know, I have set types of food that I'll eat. It's very easy for Helen, my wife, because I don't mind the same day each week being the same meal, if that makes sense. It's just my routine, you know. I tend to know what day of the week it is by what I'm having for dinner. And it makes her job so much easier. I did say to her stupidly that her job would be easier if she'd let me do some cooking, but she laughed at me and said, don't ever say that to me again. So, yeah. I've just pumping some of the dust along this seam with Peter the Puffer. Not too worried about it looking a bit spotty and a bit thing at the moment, because I shall go back once it's stuck on and just lightly brush off anything that I don't want and move it around. But at the moment, I'm just trying to deposit stuff where I think it would have accumulated on the bike as it's been going through, and then I can knock some of it back. So at the moment I've gone a bit OTT in some places, but it's not how it's actually going to be in the finished look. And then I have got things like a bit of engine oil for the chain so that I can put little bits like that in. So it's just to get a bit of accumulated weathering in there. I don't want to go too mad with it because, like I say, it's going to be shipped. It's got to be unpacked and all of that lot. So, yeah, a lot of it may or may not wipe off. So I'd rather put a bit more on than I need, and then with the handling, it can weather nicely. And I'll probably mist over. I might mist it over with a bit of airspray or something like that when I'm done. I'll see, just to give it a final seal. But that,
a bit little zizz.
Yeah, that would mean raiding the wife's airspray.
Are you telling me you haven't got 18 cans of Bristow's hair stuff in the back?
I've run out of
Bristow's,
mate.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got to get some more, mate.
You know what we should get Pete mate to stock?
Bristow's recently. Brown Bristow's.
We should get Pete mate to stock cans of Bristow's hairspray.
Yeah, it's got to be the brown one or the gold-coloured one. Is the best way to describe it. Super Drug. I don't know whether even that is still a thing now, the shop, but that's where I got mine from.
So. I got mine from the local corner shop.
Yeah.
My local convenience store.
It was the look on the woman's face because I had a pack of various flesh tones and blue eyeshadows and 2 tall cans of Bristow's. And I looked at her, I said, I'm a scale modeller, and my missus, she was like, yeah, he is. And when she got outside, she said, I missed an opportunity there. I should have turned around and went, no, he's not. But yeah.
I've still got a can of it. I think there's a can of it in the bathroom.
Yeah, when I had my recent move round with all my cupboards, I found the remainder of me Bristow's, because obviously with the 1/16 tank, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll keep that out. And when I shook it up, there was very minimal in it. So
yeah, I can't explain to the viewers the joy I felt, because I thought, right, I need some hairspray to do some snow. This is going back a few years. I need some hairspray to do some snow. I don't buy hairspray. I'm like, oh, I'll just go to the little corner shop, see what I can buy.
Yeah. So
I went there and bought some sandwiches and stuff. I was like, hairspray, bang, that'll do. Which one? Cheap. There you go. Cheapest one they can find, 99p. Great. Took it home. I had like 10 cans of it. I didn't know how much I had. I bought like their entire stock of Bristow's hairspray. And then like a few years later, when me and Colin are talking, it turns out he bought exactly the same hairspray.
Yeah. Well, he was laughing about non-model making things that we had on our list of go-to tools.
Yeah.
And it just came out in the conversation about the Bristow's hairspray. And I'm like, yeah, I've got 2 cans of it there. And I dug about it. He was like, I can't believe you've got the same hairspray. And I went,
it's like the world's most least known hairspray ever. And we just both happen to have the same thing.
We had the same spudger. And we both called them a spudger. And it was like, yeah.
Because we're both former tested boys, aren't we?
Yeah. So, yeah,
Will Smith and his spudgers.
Yeah, we are quite fickle with our tools, but
yeah,
if it works, doesn't it? You know. But
so if you're in the UK and you need hairspray for any kind of modelling thing, go to your local corner shop, get a can of Bristow's. It's like 70p or something. It's probably really crap hairspray, but it's great
it's no
if you
use for hairspray, but for the scale modelling, it's absolutely perfect, folks.
I mean, you know, if you want to go out smelling like chemicals, then it's probably great for you. But no.
Yeah.
It was probably great hairspray in 1978.
But it was just a look on this young girl's face serving me, because obviously I've got a freshly polished bald head and she's just looking at me. And you know, you give them that one eyebrowed look, don't you? It's like, I know what you want to say.
Did she look like she was about to start reaching around the back of the counter for certain products that you buy from behind the counter?
And it was just the way she said, can I ask a question? I said, of course you can. Ask me what you want. She said, why is a man with a bald head buying hairspray? I said, oh, damn it. Couldn't put a call out, could you? Urgent. I said, because my wigs fell off. It must be on the floor somewhere. And she looked at me. My missus by then started laughing. She said, no. She said, he uses it for scale modelling, darling. Oh. Yeah. If I'd had some stickers on me, I would have gave her some stickers, but...
Yeah, ultimate pimpage.
Yeah, I wonder whether my sticker's still on that hospital cabinet.
I put a couple in, when Mum was in hospital, I put a couple around her hospital. Yeah. If they're still there. I took your advice and did the same as you. I put a couple of model-making stickers.
Yeah, I spent a while laid in bed, and there was a pull-down unit that has got the TV and all of that lot in it. So I stuck a Festa 67's workshop sticker up underneath it. And
when he told me this, I was so proud, because this was during his I can't do pimping, I'm British phase.
Yeah.
So when he actually did tell me that, I'm like, I'm so proud, I'm filling up. You've come so far.
Yeah.
Now it's merciless. You're pimping yourself in hospitals.
Oh, yeah, because now, see, when I go in, I have a few of the shop cards and a handful of stickers, because there's always a scale modeller that turns up. And it's like, you know, what you do normally? And I go, I build scale models. Oh, do you? Yeah. Got a YouTube channel as well. Have you? Yeah, there you go. That's it. Then I'm off, and the H then goes, oh, really? And I go, blame Foxx.
I have to admit, when people ask me what I do, I never know what to say. It's like the only thing I've ever come up with is either say I'm a YouTuber or I'm a modeler, or I'd say both. I'm a YouTuber or an art or something. Because it's really weird to kind of explain what you do. I could just say I'm an artist, but then that sounds far too pretentious.
No, what you tend to do is you go, I'm a guru. Come on, admit it.
No, I've never once said that.
Really? You've not, no?
No.
Damn. Damn, little bits of me have just died inside.
No, I don't say that.
Do you want to say that?
No. My original plan for the channel...
Here he goes.
My original plan for the channel was it wouldn't just be me. Eventually it'd have other people on there as well, and it'd be like... Yeah. There'd be a collective model making guru, not just me. But that never happened. So yeah.
Sometimes all the best laid plans for the channels just don't come to fruition, do they?
No.
You know.
But the thing is, you go back a couple of years and say, what do you do? I'm a YouTuber. I make YouTube videos. Oh, brilliant. What do you... Nowadays, if you say that, there's too many absolute chuddy channels out there with absolute spoons.
Yeah.
You don't want to say you're a YouTuber because it makes you sound like an absolute spoon nowadays.
Yeah, it is a difficult one.
Yeah. After the kind of morons you get, the millions of subscriber channel morons you get, it's like, you don't want to say you're a YouTuber.
I normally say I'm the CEO for my own broadcasting studio.
Yeah, that's good.
And it really does sound furiously windswept.
It does, doesn't it? Like you've got yacht hair there going on.
Yeah. You know, and they're like, oh, what's that? And then you go, yeah, it's Festa 67's workshop. It's on YouTube. And they go, nice one. I like how you sold that. Like,
but you've had the thing where the gas man came round and said, I recognise this room.
The guy that comes to do the boiler, he came in, he had to put a new logic board in the boiler. And he ambled in there and he's beavering away, and I stuck my head around, well, cup of tea, mate. Yeah, no worries. And he's looking at me and he's looking around. And I said, do you want to ask me whether I build models? Because I will mock you. He went, no, I've been in this room before. I said, have you? When was that then? Was that your shoes on the landing? You know, that sort of humour. He said, no. He said, I've seen this room. He said, I don't know. And then he looked and he went... Do you do YouTube? And I went, yeah. He said, and then I put the monitor on. I said, there you go. That's it. He said, I knew you. So that's it. He left here. He had a glue holder, a set and sew holder. He had stickers, the usual. And he's like, oh, mate, I'm over the bed. Of course, now he comments on the videos and that, and he goes, I'll see you in a couple of weeks, mate. And I go, yeah, boiler service due. And he always comes round. He looks through the bills because he was like, oh, where's the AT-AT? Where's the London bus? So I had to get the London bus out and switch it all on for him so he could sit and see it. And he was happy as a noggin slot, mate.
Cool. See, I've never been lucky enough to have that. Apparently, the manager at my local Games Workshop store did once many years ago say to me, I was in there, I used to hang around in there for a bit. He was in there for a while. And I'd gone, and he said to me next time, he said, hey, guy came over to me last time you were in a city, and he just left, and he came over to me, he said, is that model making guru guy?
Yeah.
And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Apparently he just recognised my voice, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we all know the story about minor celebrities. We won't go into that, but there was one person that we used to know that suddenly thought he'd be asked to do store openings and that because it thought he was a bit of a superstar. And that was quite funny. That was, because, But my postman, he does scale models. Because he tapped on this side door during the summer. And I was sat here. Can't remember what I was filming. It might have been the very early stages of my standard bus that I'm doing.
Yeah.
I had the side door ajar and he ambled through. He said, oh, is that you sat there, mate? I said, yeah, I'm just filming at the moment. He said, oh, sorry. He said, what are you filming? And I said, oh, YouTube video, modelling channel. you build model kits? I went, yeah. He said, oh, I said, so do I. And that was it. So my local postman, especially now with the fan-owned stuff, he's like, oh, what part were you doing then? And I, yeah. So, yeah, he's well into it. And he's been in and had a look round. He went, it's a nice little setup, this, isn't it? I said, you got a man cave? He said, yeah, I've got a little shed. I said, yeah, you want to get back in the warm, mate? I used to do it in the shed. I said,
but outside.
I moved back indoors because it's safer for me and it's warmer. He said, yeah. He said, I'm thinking of getting the missus to let me have the spare room. But I said, do it, mate. I said, but yeah. And I went through the setup because he asked me what, the stream deck was and all of that. And I said, well, live streaming, it lets you control it. And we had a good long discussion about it. So, yeah. And it's quite funny because he'll say, oh, I'm doing this particular kit. And I go, oh, I've built one of them. Yeah. Did you have this issue with the fit? Yeah, I did. What did you do? I said, warmed it up with the wife's hairdryer, mate. He went, hey. I said, yeah, just warm it up with hairdryer, a bit of Dymo tape around the fuselage to hold it taut. I said, then you could use that to rescribe the lines for the panels.
Yeah.
Oh, he said, I remember that. So I'm building him a lighting kit because he wants to light up one of his cars.
Cool, there you go. So,
yeah, I love it. And
I don't think I've actually ever come across anybody in the hobby, like in the wild. Apart from, like, if I was at my local GW store, obviously I would because people are in there.
Yeah.
And like I said, that obviously, but like just out in the wild.
Yeah.
Where people say, what do you do? And I've said in, make models and stuff. And they're like, oh, that's cool. They've often expressed, interest in it being interesting. I used to build them when I was a kid, but I've never come across anybody that currently makes them.
The UPS guy that comes, he used to deliver me bike parts to the workshop, and he said, oh, I remember you from the workshop. And I said, yeah. And he was asking how I am. Do I still do the tri-X and things? I said, no, I'm retired now, mate. I said, because the MS got the better of me. I said, and it's easier for me to be in a safe space because of, if I fall or whatever, that sort of thing. He said, what on earth do you do to occupy yourself? And I said, I build model kits. All right. And he had never built a model kit.
A lot of people haven't.
He said, really? And I said, yeah. I said, I find it relaxing. It takes me mind off of real life, what the body's doing, what I can no longer do, that sort of thing. Well, the last time he delivered, he says, you'll never guess what I did. I went, what? He said, I went out and bought a model kit. I said, you're joking. He said, yeah, first one I've ever bought. He said, I'm getting some glue and some paint. And he said, I'm going to have a go. I said, good for you, mate.
Yeah.
And I was pretty proud of him. Yeah.
Were you filling up?
I was. It's like, because, again, that could be someone new to the hobby that'll get something out of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one, like, frustrating thing about this specific hobby is that, so many people see scale modelling as a childish pursuit in the same way a lot of people see video games as for kids. They do, why are you wasting time with that? It's just childish rubbish. Why not do something proper? And it's like, we're not, it's art. It's no different to painting on a canvas or drawing in inks or writing music. It's a form of art, and it's
that's the thing I noticed when I got back into the hobby, because I took a 20-year sabbatical to raise me sons. And when I got back into it, it went from being, pretty much everyone doing the same bog standard car kit, box art, that sort of thing, to suddenly being full-blown dioramas, weathering, chipping, and all of that. And that really did open my eyes to the realms of the possibilities and how the hobby had grown. So I basically relearned the hobby from scratch because I found it such a stimulating thing. And even now I say it to people that are really good at weathering and detail work and that. I find that immensely inspirational for me because it's reinvigorated my interest in the hobby and given me a sense of purpose that I was beginning to lose when I had to take the retirement. You feel you're putting on the scrap heap, don't you?
Yeah.
And you feel a little bit worthless, your self-confidence goes, and suddenly this has re-given me a impetus or an incentive to learn new things and feel good at something again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because it's just a creative thing. You're creating something and you're using your skills and your talents to do that, and it's something you'd be proud of at the end of it. But it just frustrates me when people write it off as it's childish nonsense. It's like, no, it's art.
Yeah, I've had that before. Okay. Oh, you build
it's
kids' toys? No, I don't build kids' toys.
No,
I'm a kid. Don't get me wrong, but.
And we have built kids' toys, but that's not important right now.
Yeah, they didn't know about the blue. See, that's another one. That's another one that the gas band's going to see, Michael, because he's not seen that yet. He saw the box for it when it was all boxed up, waiting to be built, and it's like, I've got to ask. I went, yeah, and he, so. He'll get to see that live because he has seen a few of the live streams. So.
Oh, cool.
And he does pop in, so yeah.
But it is kind of frustrating when people write it off as childish nonsense, because it's like, well, you know what? First of all, the best thing about kids, they have fun.
Yeah.
And you know what this is? It's fun. And if I didn't enjoy doing it, I wouldn't do it. It's like, what would you rather? Somebody said that to me once. Somebody I knew, and they thought it was just childish nonsense. I said, okay, you come home from work, what do? You sit down and you watch football, or you watch crappy TV, and you have a bottle of beer, and then you go to bed.
Yeah,
that's not interesting or fun at all.
Yeah.
So where's the fun in life? Where's the passion? Yeah. All you ever do is you watch telly, crap on TV, or you watch football, and nothing wrong with football, but. It's like,
sorry, I just spotted a comment there.
Go on.
Atoll says, admit to anyone asking, Foxx, that you're a miniature modeler stroke artistic influencer. That sounds good. And straight underneath that, Foxx says, PJ, next time someone asks you what you do, just tell him you're a professional chipper. Brilliant. Jeff says you can still get cuppa soup. Oh, nice, says Sarah Jane. Cuppa soups are still available. Have to be, or my cuppa soup mug would be redundant. Oh, there you go. I'll have to get 8.
Do you know what I've got downstairs on the shelf? I've got 2 packets of butterscotch.
Angel Delight. Yeah, that's H's favourite, that is.
And can I just do a quick shout out to our friend Chris at Gross Models, who sent me this Hutton Orbital mug a couple of years ago. If you know your Elite Dangerous, you'll know what that is.
Yeah.
I found it in the cupboard the other day. I hadn't used it for a while, so big thanks to Chris.
Is this the point where I go into just nod at the Foxx mode?
Well, you've got Elite Dangerous on your Xbox.
Yeah. Just need to spend some time switching it on and playing, don't I?
Yeah, trust me, you won't want to go near Elite Dangerous anytime soon.
But it's a reward thing for me when I actually do and get back into my regular content. My reward for doing that is going to be an hour on the Xbox. So
yeah,
that's how I'm going to treat it.
But it's so frustrating when people write things off as childish like this, or even just like, what do you do for a hobby? I play for fun. I play video games. Well, no, that's a children's thing. Oh no, have you played a video game lately?
Yeah,
it's like.
Yeah, I get the, why on earth do you do that? Why? Because I have the day to myself. I have to do something to take my mind off of things. So for me, it's the only thing I can remember that used to relax me as a kid without going into details about my upbringing. I could go and build a scale model and take my mind off of the real life things that were going on. And that was my form of escapism. And I remembered that when I was first getting dealt with the MS people and people about depression and things of that nature. They was like, when you was a kid, what did you do to take your mind off of things? And I said, well, I used to build model kits. Well, why don't you do that now? I said, why? I said, because, literally, a coin of phrase. Well, I'm grown up now.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm grown up now. And I was like, so what? If that's something that helped you relax and took the stress out of your life, don't you think it's something that you could look at doing to try to de-stress? We can only give you so many antidepressants, mate. And that was it. And H picked up on it. And then when I was in the body brace after the motorcycle accident, she coincidentally bought me a motorcycle kit. Good choice. And said, when you get home, you can build that, because I don't want you moaning and whining, because you'll get on my Nellies. I cleaned that up.
Yes, you did.
So that's what I did, and it got me back into it. And then I found out about the internet, Google and all of that lot, and had a look around, you know, at the kit, just to see if there was any pictures of someone that may have finished one, and came across Tony doing one. And that's how the whole YouTube thing come in, because it's like people film building model kits. Why? Who wants to watch that as I'm sitting there watching it?
Yeah.
And I then emailed him and said, here, mate, got to ask you, blah, 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 blah. And he said, have you got a channel? And he started sending you pictures, didn't you, of the Boot Hill Express, where I'd done all the wood grain and all of that lot. And that's how I first came across Foxx. And then Foxx was like, why don't you put some pictures in the gallery in the boom art? And I'm like, what's the boom
my
art?
troubles began.
Yeah, what's the boom art? So many explanations were had. Yeah.
Yeah. But
he's regretted it ever since.
Yeah. There my troubles began. It just frustrates me when people write off the hobby as childish, and it's like they're always the kind of people that just whose entire free time is spent either drinking, because that's fun, or watching football, or just doing some mindless stuff that, you know, well, I mean, I know I'm doing the same thing, but stuff I would write off as mindless. But it's like, do something creative. Do something creative where it changes your life.
You know, I'll say to them, well, what did you do last weekend? Oh, I went out, spent X, Y, Z on a meal, went to the pub, got absolutely slaughtered, was sick in the taxi on the way home because I'd had a kebab. But it was a good night, though. And I go, but what have you got to show for that, other than a few grazes on your arms and an headache?
Less money. Yeah.
Well, for the same money you spent, I've got this that I can look at week on week on. It took me X amount of time to build it. I've had X amount of hours of fun and pleasure doing it.
Yeah.
And I've not made a
sense of achievement.
I've not made a backside of myself. Clean that up as well. See?
You did. You're doing very well.
I am, you know. Is this almost profesh?
Almost star.
Yeah, I'm getting there, folks.
But but it's always the people that have no interesting things in their life that just sit there monging in front of the TV all night. It's like, really? And that's interesting and fun, is it?
Yeah, but I've always said it's very easy to criticise the things you don't understand.
Yeah.
And I love this hobby. You know, this hobby has helped me through a lot of real life issues. I'll leave it there. And without this hobby, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? And
it's a bit of a life raft for some people.
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter.
And
it's not just.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, it's not just model making. It's any kind of creative.
Yeah, it
hobby
be
that involves creativity. You know, anything: drawing, painting, making music, making models, anything that indulges your creative side and keeps you distracted from the hassles of life and just gives you a safe space.
Exactly. You know, my missus, she'll say, you know, you're in there, you're having a laugh with your mates, you're doing your live shows, you're interacting with people. This is where this all comes in, isn't it? Hangouts, live streams, webcams, because that is your window to the world. That is your social networking. And, you know, this is like going down the pub and spending an evening with your mates, but you're in a safe space. And Ellen knows if I'm in here beavering away and having a giggle, my mind is being taken off of reality.
Yeah, your mind is like a shield of steel. I'm just going to blow my nose. What's that?
Yeah, no worries, mate. So, yeah, I would recommend it. You know, most people that do this hobby are very solitary people. And we couldn't choose a more solitary hobby to do, really, because, you know, we don't socialise in the real world. And then we're even more insulated because we shut ourselves away in a cave to build our models. But that's how we escape, isn't it? And I think it's a good thing. I really do. This hobby saved my life at the end of the day, and it certainly made Helen's life a lot easier.
Oh yeah, and in a way, in a lot of ways, tabletop miniatures. Not just Warhammer, because there's other tabletop miniature games out there, Bolt Action, all kinds of things.
D&D, things like that.
Yeah. In a way, tabletop miniatures are like an even better version of model making, because you can have your solitary hobby where you're sitting there painting and building, and it's solitary, but at the same time, you're getting together with people to play the tabletop game, so it's got an element of social interaction to it. So
exactly.
It can have both. So, yeah. Basically, everyone should build and paint miniatures.
It's one of them. I mean, I didn't do the Warhammer thing because, I was like, well, but I don't play games. I don't do tabletop gaming. And he was like, yeah, but you don't have to play the game to build it. You'll like the vehicles.
It's just a model.
Yeah, he said, you'll like the vehicles because it'll give you a chance to release your inner Festa.
Yeah. I mean, in the same way I get frustrated by people who write off any kind of creative hobby as childish, I also get frustrated by people who write off specific parts of this hobby. So, like, for example, people that go, oh, you paint Warhammer, oh, it's rubbish, isn't it? It's like, why is it any different to painting a tank or a plane or a car? It's a model you've got to build and paint. Yeah. Or, people that say, oh, you build planes, why don't you build this? It's like, it doesn't matter what people build.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I groan at shiny cars, but I don't groan because they're rubbish. I groan because I can't do them. And I go, oh, I can't do them.
Yeah, but you're all or nothing. I mean, for the first 6 years I knew you, all you did was Gundam. Yeah. And then you discovered Warhammer. You're now Warhammer. So your next new thing is probably just round the corner. But
yeah, but it's equal intolerance of people that write off specific genres of this hobby. Oh, you build Gunpla. No, it's not a real model, is it? Well, yeah, because it's a model you build and paint. So
yeah, what's it made of?
I've no patience for that.
Yeah, what's it come as? Bits and pieces of plastic that you need to glue together or join together. It's a model kit, isn't it?
Yeah. I've no patience with people that try and gatekeep the hobby and say, you should make this or you should make... No, you make what you want to make.
Sure, model, and if you don't, what you want.
Yeah, and if you don't like that particular style of thing of model, well, then that's down to you, but you can't criticise other people.
Yeah.
I don't criticise people that, do model train stuff, because I've got no interest in that at all, but it's just as valid as this or your motorbike or anything.
I can remember when I first watched Big Paul Bretland, and it was like, this is my hobby. I build what I want, how I want, when I want, and that's it. It's his hobby. He can build what he chooses, and I couldn't put that better myself, to be quite honest with you.
Yep. So when people say, Fox, when are you going to build some real models? I am already. I already am, mate. It's a plastic model kit. I'm painting it. What?
Yes, it's one of them. It's all about choice at the end of the day.
Yeah, just because it's not a real tank or a real-life plane or a real-life boat or ship or something. It's still a plastic model kit and you still have to paint it.
Yeah. So. I mean, I like the variation, I couldn't build just one genre because I get bored. If I was just doing bikes, I'd get bored of it because one bike's the same as the other. So I do have to move and flip between different genres. It could be a bike, a car, a bus, a plane, a train, a submarine, or Warhammer, or whatever.
I mean, I guarantee you, at some point in the future, I won't be doing Warhammer now. I'll be doing something else, and it'll just be the next thing that comes across that I find interesting. My ethos is I build and paint what I think's cool at the time, and then if it's suddenly not cool to me anymore, I'll move on to something else.
You're all or nothing, and that's it. When you've explored that genre and you're running out of new things to build in that genre, then you start looking then for what's new in the Gundam world since I last done one, and so. Yeah, we all do the hobby differently. I like to try new things. I certainly like to learn new techniques because it keeps me inspired to carry on with the hobby.
Yeah, I'm kind of lazy in that I don't go out of my way to learn or find new things. I will, over time, pick up new things just by osmosis of doing the hobby and being exposed to it. But I won't go out of my way to do something I don't know or something new. I won't say, I'm going to do this because I've never done it. But I'll just, if something makes me go, oh, that looks cool, I'll do it. If it doesn't, I won't. So, but yeah, I've not no truck with people that disparage either the hobby as a whole or parts of the hobby, or any hobby for that matter. You know,
there's no need for it.
No.
Like the whole rivet counter thing, isn't it? You know, we've all encountered it. You know, and it's like, what possesses someone to become a rivet counter? I find it bizarre.
Lack of talent, imagination, and social understanding. It's like if someone said to me, "What do you do for hobby?" Oh, and they said, "Oh, I'm in a chess club." I'd be like, "Oh, cool." Yeah, I have no interest in chess. No, but I'm not going to mock them for it.
No, you're not.
What they like. Yeah.
But to spend time just trolling people, critiquing everything without anyone ever seeing anything that you may have built or anything like that, I just find that negative. I don't see why that's a thing. And that's not just in the modelling community. This happens in
any community.
Many communities. You get it in model railways, train spotting, you get it all over. But
it is quite universal truth though that the ones who are most vocal about criticising other people's work are the ones whose work you never see. It's just a universally accepted fact. You can guarantee in a group the one who's always complaining about other people's work, you'll never see it.
I've had some classic rivet counts in my time. And it's like, don't get me wrong, people are entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, life is all about different opinions. I've got no problem with that. But, you know, if someone asks, I've just posted this, any hints or tips are welcome, then they're obviously looking for feedback. That's not a problem. As long as you're offering constructive, thought-out processes that's going to help them become a better modeler. But if you're just going to sit there and insult their work, going, this is, you know, language I can't say, you know, that, straight away you've just alienated that person and probably done them out of any enthusiasm. So the negative stuff I don't get.
And it's invariably from the people who either aren't very good or never show the stuff anyway.
And
you tend to...
Go on.
I was going to say, you tend to find that the people who actually have the talent and post the good works in groups are the ones that often are very good at giving actual proper good feedback and constructive feedback. The ones that go, I think you'll find that you never hear their work or see it. And they're usually talentless.
Yeah. But, it is... It's a strange thing, isn't it? You know, it's a very pack mentality thing as well, isn't it? Where if someone's particularly out of favour, you'll get little cliques form that, and you're like, oh, really? It's their turn this month. I do find that a little bit sad, purely because anyone coming into the hobby could end up getting dissuaded from continuing.
Absolutely. And what these people forget is that when we all started out, we were all garbage. We all had no talent at all, apart from the very few rare people that, like me and you know, who started out from scratch as absolutely brilliant painters, and we hate them completely. And there are people like that.
Oh, yeah.
We know at least two.
Yeah.
But for most of us, we started out as complete blarpy painting with half a potato and a dead cat, and we all started that way, and they seem to forget that. Important question in chat from Jeff Light: what is a spudger? A spudger is any kind of tool that has a flat bit that you can spudge two things apart. Like you've got a TV remote, you need to split it apart, get a spudger in there, pop it apart. They're usually plastic.
Oh yeah, I've got various placky spudgers in my phone tools box. There you go.
And the reason we call them spudgers, at least for me, is because Will Smith, who used to be on the tested.com website, because it was Will Smith and Norman Chan, when they used to review tech stuff, they had a set of spudgers for prizing, say, mobile phones and things apart, and laptops, take them apart. And they used to spudge it all the time. That's where I got it from.
Yeah. Adam Savage, I think, was where I got it from.
Yeah. But that's what they're for. They're for things to separate things apart without damaging them, basically. You want to spudge them apart. Yeah. The Lego removal tool will be a spudger. PJ Lewis had a chicken and leek cup of soup at lunch. Oh, one of the best ones.
Oh, nice one.
We're up to... So Jane says, one of the many models I'm currently building is a 1/9 scale bike. Colin?
Oh, nice.
Athol says, today when shopping I got caught by our local nurse and she tutted me for being out inside the shop. I met a female who thought that dead and she hadn't seen me in 6 months. It is an indoor hobby. JC Bricks and Builds is in. Says, evening Colin, Fox and all in chat. Festa Hugs, Fox Hugs. Welcome, James.
Hello, James. How are you, mate?
He's clearly just posted something in the West workshop.
Yeah. It's just put a photo in.
Matt B says, been a good talk tonight, fellas, whilst at the bench. Thank you,
Yeah,
Matt.
absolutely. It's what it's all about.
Athol says, right, Colin, Fox plus chatters. I'm off to bed, so night all. Good night, Athol.
You take care, mate. We'll be off at 11 anyway, folks, so...
Yeah. And Jeff says, a lever. Yeah, it's just like, it's specifically something with a flat end to gently prise things apart.
Yeah.
It'll be
it's basically a prying tool, but Spudge has just got that.
Yeah.
It's just got that ring to it,
Right,
innit?
I'm just going to get some warm water to clean my brush.
Yeah, we do like a bit of spudgeroony, mate.
Oh, I can't walk. I'm an old man.
Yeah, he's an old man, folks. Yeah. But yeah, I do like a bit of spudgering. So let's just get all my pigment out of there. Try not to waste any pigment as much as I can. But normally if I'm using multiple pigments and I end up with a variety on my bit of paper, I just put it all in a pot and have it as a mixed variation of tones. But as I've just been doing sand tonight...
You know you're getting old when standing up from a chair, it's just hard work.
Do you, like me, do that thing where you get out of an armchair and you're like... And
you walk like that for a minute. Because nothing works. And like everything's got... pretty much.
The old man's motorcycle sound, you know. Yeah.
Just for everybody's information, by the way, last week I was up to now using the little tiny God hand brush for the chipping. This week I have switched to the Point Brush M from the Brushwork Pro range of God hand. Because it's a little bit bigger. And it's very nice. He's very nice.
All available from our good friends at eModels. There is a link in the description that will take you to the God Hand range.
Yes. And me and Colin will both tell you, they're really good brushes. They are really good brushes.
Oh, absolutely. I love their
both
stuff.
fallen for them. You like this? You like their amazing saw, don't you? Whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got that.
It's actually called the Amazing. Is that the Amazing?
The Amazing Megasaw, I think it's called. But yeah, it is one of them gadgets that once you've used it, you're like, My other saw is now actually redundant.
I've only got the Tamiya cutting saw, which I have to depend on
that bad boy.
Yeah,
I like that.
It looks like one
because it's got the flexi blade. So you can do a bit of that and go, and all.
You can make the noise.
Yeah, proper. All of that. But also, it's got a slide-out spine, so you can just back the blade up a little bit, lock it in place, and it's now got a locking spine that makes that. Yeah, look at that.
You can make it firm.
Yeah. So, I do like that saw, I must admit. So,
and I am absolutely sold on these paintbrushes.
Yeah.
They are really nice. I've hardly touched my broken toes at all since I got these.
They're sanders. I was using these Monday. I was asked in the chat about them, and dare I say it, pun intended.
Dare.
They're a godsend.
Get out.
Yeah, but no, on all joking aside, I do highly recommend them. And I'm not just saying that because they're sold by eModels and this is an eModels show. They work, folks.
You've said it on your own streams as well. So.
Yeah, it's like anything. If I get something and it works, I tend to talk about it a lot because at the end of the day, that's what this hobby's all about. We all spend an absolute small fortune on products. And some of the stuff we get ain't great, is it? Let's be honest.
No, some of the stuff is absolute garbage.
When something works, even on my own streams, I've been pimping them because they do what they say on the tin.
Yeah, and the thing is, if we find tools that work really well, we want other people to know about them because then they can use them and have good times.
Yeah. So, honestly, you can't go wrong with it.
No.
So that's where I'm at with the bike. I'm going to let that settle. And then all I've got left then is a tiny little bit of oil to put on just in a few places on the chain, just so that it looks like the chain lube has splattered a little bit and a little bit of fuel stain, and that'll, I reckon, be done then.
It's not the kind of thing you'd ever kind of stain on the petrol cap, is it? Because that would be cleaned up normally.
Everything gets cleaned up at the end of race day, but they'll lube the chain up and everything, and that, so you'll have a bit of accumulated powder build up and that. But then, yeah, that'll get cleaned, ready for the next day. So I'm happy with that.
It was a dark day for the internet when I realised I can move my microphone on the boom arm dead easily and do close-up words, no problem.
Yeah. Boom. So I can stop recording because I've been filming.
I never used to be able to do that.
Yeah. I've been filming all the way through as well. Killed the two birds with the one stone.
I have not done very much at all. I chipped one little turret and I've started the brown chipping on the front here. It basically starts to darken down all those, you can see all the light coloured chips here, it darkens them all down a bit and makes it look like the rusty metal underneath has been exposed.
Hey, I've done your full screen, mate. There you go.
Oh, there. And let me turn this light up a little bit. All that work will disappear when the weathering goes on top.
Yeah.
But it'll still be part of the story of the texture at the end. So the kind of thing where you'll see some chipping showing through and some won't, but I don't mind, that's fine. So yeah, it's a long drawn out process that for the most part you won't see any of it. And it doesn't really come out on camera, by the way, on this webcam, so it looks much more different, that's not even English, Fox, much more different on real life than
natural light, because we are we are using broadcasting lights, aren't we, and that to really brighten up everything
through a crappy webcam as well. But I mean, if you look at that, that's all pallid looking, and that's with the same kind of effect, but it's had chips on it, so it just looks a bit browner and darker now. So that's all we're doing. It'll all disappear once the weathering goes on.
Absolutely, there you go.
Yeah,
as long as you're happy with it, that's what matters.
Peter Echo says those tools are for working with wax. I use them for applying the filler plaster and forming any shape you like. What these ones? These are actually dental sculpting tools. I bought them for £1 from my local pound shop.
Yeah,
there's like 30 of them in a pack.
Oh yeah,
but I use them as sponges as well. Yeah, you do get, if you get like a screwdriver set, often they come with like a spudger for getting the screens off iPhones and stuff.
Yeah, you normally get all kinds of. I've got a big tub full of plastic spudgers and that, but the metal one is always one I go back to because you can get a little bit of pressure on it and leverage. I
mean, the Lego part separator will be a spudger.
Yeah.
The little plastic spades you get with an ice cream, with the old, you remember the old, what would it, you used to get a plastic upside down Dalek with ice cream in it and a bubble gum in the
screwball.
Yeah, they had a little plastic spud. That would be a spudger.
Yeah, that was a spudger. Yeah.
If it didn't exist in the 1970s,
Super Mooses. Do you remember them Super Mooses? They come with a spudger.
Yeah, with a little plastic. Yeah, not a spoon. It's a little flat. It's like almost like a snow shovel, but tiny.
Yeah.
Plastic for your electronics and metal for stuff you don't care about.
Absolutely, mate.
Especially if you want to like prize a chip off a motherboard or something. Beep.
Do like a bit of spudularity. Well, that's how you remove the IC chips from their little holders. Use a spudger. Chip up.
Or how you get a screen off your smartphone. Separate.
Yeah. I've got the little screen separating tool with the suction pads.
Yep, that will be a spudger.
Yeah, because I changed the batteries in my iPhone recently. I took the battery out of Helen's iWatch because it had reached the end of its life and expanded. So yeah, that's when my miniature spudgers came out. Yeah.
Peter Eccles says, yes, lots of uses. Matt B is clearly British and old because he remembers the screwballs.
Absolutely.
So, like us, he's British and old.
Yeah, absolutely.
We used to pretend they were Daleks and like play with them afterwards.
Full Doctor Who, wasn't it? Yeah, exterminate. Yeah. Explain.
Couple
of cocktail sticks and a little bowl of blue tack when it's like, look at that, Dalek. Yeah. Telephone wire for the egg whisk.
Yeah, it was 1970s. We were poor. There you go. That's what childhood was like in the 1970s.
Am I right in thinking that Blue Peter actually did a thing on how to make the Dalek, and that's what they used, the screwball cases?
There was probably a toilet roll tube in there as well, but you could be right.
Back in the days of Biddy Baxter and her sticky back plastic, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. You remember a few weeks ago when I said I'd had no Agrax Earthshade?
Yeah. You found another bottle, haven't you?
I've just seen 4 bottles of it on my shelf.
Yeah, you ordered a load from eModels, didn't you?
No, that's elsewhere. I've just spotted 4 bottles I didn't realise I already had.
So would you like me to mock you now and call you a spoon, or?
You may continue.
I'll tell you what I will do, though, just to really tease you.
Go on. What, tease me or tease the viewers?
No, tease you is...
Tease me?
Yeah, I may have been sent a box of noms.
Oh, Mars bar.
Ah.
Not in a Mars bar for a long time.
It's the triple treat one, mate.
What's the triple... I don't understand what that is.
It's not. It's fruit.
Is it?
It's nut. And it's chocolate, dude.
Oh dear, no. Oh, no. No. I'm
mate.
an old man. I don't accept change.
They are absolutely gorgeous. Look at that.
You don't have nuts in a Mars bar? What kind of heresy is this?
Yeah, but, dude, look, you want one, don't you?
No. I'd have a Mars bar that was just a Mars bar.
So I'm going to have that.
To be honest, my teeth would actually kill me if I did that. So.
Oh, you and your teeth. Oh, my teeth.
It is.
Oh, my special teeth. My sensitive teeth. Matt B says I'll be 52 on Saturday. Geez, you're only a pup, mate.
Yeah, he's a year younger than me, so he's a child.
I'm 56. I'm on that slippery slope downward towards 60 and corduroy and beige. Yeah.
What am I this year?
52, mate.
52, yeah?
Yeah, you're 52
I'm the same age.
this year,
there you
mate.
go. I'm 52.
Oh, no. Or 5 years and 2 months. You are on 5 years and 6 months. That's how old I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 52, and after a hard day on the Xbox, I don't look a day over 70.
Yeah. And honestly, yeah, it's... You're as old as you feel, ain't you? But this is why we goon around so much. Sprue and Glue says we need nom-nom noises. I won't be able to talk, mate, because, yeah, I can imagine that's quite sticky. Oh.
Go and find out. How are you going to find out?
Oh, mate. Oh,
what is it? It's Mars bar, nut, and fruit. Fruit and nut Mars bar, basically.
There you go.
Triple
nom
threat.
noises.
Nom.
Absolutely. Oh, mate, I'll tell you something. I've got 18 of them in the box. And how many of these? How many of these do you reckon are going to be left by the morning?
None.
Yeah.
I finished that trifle the other day, by the way.
Oh, did you? He messaged me during the night. He went, "I've just cleaned my teeth." I went, "Yeah, would you want a medal?" He said, "You never guess what I spotted." What? A trifle. I said, "Dude, sacrifice the teeth, mate. Go and have it."
My brain, I was as a way of proving that my brain hates me. My own brain hates me. My brain said, right, let's go and brush our teeth because it's almost bedtime. Okay, I went and brushed my teeth like a good boy. Brush my teeth, brush. Floss, interdental brush and all that. Walked out the bathroom and my brain went, oh, there's a trifle in the fridge. I'm like, my brain hates me. It didn't tell me that before. It told me that after I'd brushed my teeth.
You mean to say you don't have an aqua flosser?
A what?
An aqua flosser.
I've no idea what that is. I've got the dental floss, and I've got the little tiny interdental brushes, and I've got the toothbrushing.
Mate, I have
What's
this.
What's an aqua flosser?
I have this little bag.
And why is it in your workshop? The hell?
That's an aqua flosser, and you put an adapter on it, and it fires a jet of water through it that gets in all the nooks and crannies, mate. Yeah, brilliant. Thoroughly recommend it, mate. Purely and simply because, as you know, I'm very heavy-handed. So when I clean me teeth, I will make my gums bleed because I'm very heavy-handed, brutal, you know. That's
well, you
why
do brush
I
your
use,
teeth with pliers.
Yeah, that's why I use an electric toothbrush, but I don't use dental floss because I'd be like a saw. I'd end up cutting through my jaw with it. I
had an electric toothbrush for a while, but I find them too aggressive, especially because I've got a lot of my delicate bits of my teeth exposed, which is why I've got bad teeth.
So
I can't use electric because it just grinds it down. So I'm like,
mine's a variable speed. I can have it on massage or I can have it on white, you know, all different modes. But for me, because a normal toothbrush, I'd be like, and it'd end up like one of my Sanders, mate, you know.
So what you're saying you really need is a Ferengi tooth sharpener.
Yeah. But no,
like
that's my little treat, that little aqua flosser, and I must admit I do find that really good because ordinary dental floss I'm useless with, mate.
Yeah.
Peter Eccles says he retired in July. Congratulations on your retirement, Peter.
Feet up, hobby out.
Feet up, mate. Happy days.
Fish on. Fish on.
Dominic Cuckoo's in says, good evening, Colin.
Hey, Dominic.
And Fox, hello, Dom. Literally, mate, we're just coming off air, mate. Bless you.
Oh. I've just realised that I totally forgotten I put a Metal Gear Solid reference in on this tank. There's a Diamond Dogs decal there I'd forgotten all about.
Oh,
Sorry, I've just
proud of you, soldier.
Oh, yeah, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear 5.
Yeah.
Phantom Pain, whatever.
Absolutely.
I never
go on.
Before we go, I never got to do it, but I'll do our Carl Sagan quote because Jeff never turned up.
Yeah.
The quote was, science and democracy have very consonant values and approaches, and I don't think you can have one without the other.
Absolutely. There you go, folks. And on that note, we'll wrap up for the night again. Massive, massive thanks to all of you for giving up your time and coming to keep us two idiots company. We really, 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 really do appreciate spending time with you. Me and him will be back this Friday for a Friday frolic. I can't even remember what I was doing. I need to look at last week's show to remember what I was doing.
You were doing your big tank, I think. No, you. I don't know. What were you doing?
You were doing no idea.
Oh, you were doing your Alien Ship of Regret and Tiny Dude type Ship of Regret.
Oh no, I know what I was doing last week. I started the 1/8 E-type, didn't I, last week? So yeah, this week I will be.
That's exactly what I just said.
Is it really?
No, not really.
I've got no idea what I'll start. I'll have a look at my stash and I'll start, because I'm not going to do the E-type every week because it's going to be my background build.
Also, it's massive.
Yeah, because it is so big, and I haven't yet cleaned my bench off because I've got that and the 16th tank to fit on. So what I'll do is I'll have a raid of me stash. I'm tempted to start the Metro 6R4. We'll see. We'll see what my plan is.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds good.
It's a rally car. So we'll have a look. It'll probably change by then. You'll know when you see it in the description in the frolic what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, yeah, don't look at your stash yet, Carl, because you're still alive.
Now, aren't you? Yeah.
I am, yeah.
You went quiet then, and I could tell you were just like drifting off into your stash there.
Yeah, I kind of forgot I was still live then. It's like,
I could hear you looking at things thinking, I could build that. Ooh.
There you go, folks. Jeff Light says, thanks, guys. Catch you on Friday. Take care. Stay safe. Peter Eccles says, feet up. He says, I'm working on a 24th C area. Oh, nice one, mate.
Nice one.
Nice one, mate. Look forward to seeing that. I've got a gallery on Facebook, mate. Join the group, and I'll show you work on the Sunday show, folks. Me and him will be back Friday, so we look forward to seeing you for our Friday frolic. That'll be over on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Festa67.
Festa67 Workshop.
There you go, folks. So until then, good night from me.
And it's good night from him. I never got to say that genuinely before now.
I know. There you go. See what I did there. And we'll see you on Friday, folks. Stay safe, especially if you're in Scotland. Batten down the hatches and stay safe out there, peeps. Ta-ra.
Yep.